Please go subscribe to the Rumble channel for Franchise Sports TV under the name FSTV22. Now, I'm using that Rumble channel for any purposes of me getting kicked off YouTube and also for more of my spicier joints. It's free as well. I have the freedom to say whatever I want to say as well. So go subscribe to FSTV22. That is Franchise Sports TV 22 on Rumble. There has been a lot of teams for last year that was playoff teams, particularly they coming out of the East. But there's a lot of teams last year that were playoff teams that did well, surprisingly well, like the Indiana Pacers. I don't know if you can count the Philadelphia 76ers, but the Philadelphia 76ers, of course, the Milwaukee Bucks. They might include the Knicks. I don't know. I don't know if you include the Knicks yet. But a lot of these teams have been subpar this year. A lot of them has. And there is one particular team that seemed to can't change it around that seems it might be cursed as well. And that is the Philadelphia 76ers. And I will continue to keep beating on the Philadelphia 76ers for petty reasons. But Joel Embiid plays his second game of the year. Should have been his third game of the year since he came back from a suspension/injury. I think the Sixers played a game on Tuesday against the Knicks, which they lost. Embiid was worthless in that game. And then they played a game the next day against, it might have been the Cavs, I don't remember. But they lost that game too. Then you skip 2 days later on Friday, Embiid plays again, and it doesn't go well. I'm not understanding the philosophy and the method to the madness when it comes to him, Joel Embiid, not playing certain games. I'm not getting it at all. I don't know how it's supposed to work. But last night was the NBA, what do they call it now? The NBA Cup. It's not the in-season tournament on the NBA. So gimmicky and dumb. God. The NBA has just become a gimmick now. The NBA Cup. But anyways, 76ers played the Orlando Magic in NBA Cup action. The Philadelphia 76ers have been waiting 3.5 weeks to get a full 33 minutes out of Joel Embiid. They finally got it on Friday, but it came in a 98-86 loss to the Orlando Magic. The 76ers now dropped to 2-10. Embiid said after the game, usually with me it takes 2 or 3 or 4 games to get to myself. Today was a big step in the right direction. Embiid said after finishing 20 points and 8 rebounds in the game that got away from the 76ers in the fourth quarter. Whatever, man. Whatever. I'm not like I said, I don't get the method to the madness here. We're a new group. We're just not organized. Well, you know what? You can be organized if you play back-to-backs. But anyways, I thought our defense was fine, but I start with me. We started turning the ball over. Offensively, we were indecisive. That's stuff we can fix. Embiid, the 2023 NBA MVP, sat out Philadelphia's first 10 games of the season because of knee management and 3-game suspension. Had 6 turnovers. 6. And then he missed 10 out of 15 shots from the field, including all 5 of his 3-point attempts. He said in the second half his legs were a little tight, and I feel like every shot was taken was short. Of course it was, because you ain't playing. I would imagine there'll be some fatigue there. 76ers head coach Nick Nurse said they were doing a good job either sending a body at Embiid or Buffing sending 2. We got a little indecisive, I think, and then the shot clock ticked down, and we weren't able to create anything very good. Due in large part to the absence of Embiid 10 games, Paul George 7 games, Tyrese Maxey, which is now hurt with a hamstring injury, 5 games, and the 76ers off to a terrible start. Friday night loss virtually eliminated them from NBA Cup competition for Nick Nurse called it a do or die game. Hmm. It's still an ongoing process to figure out this whole thing for everyone. There's no excuse. We got to get better, Paul George said. But I do think we get to a point where we're finding identity. Unfortunately, that's taking a little time, but the season is long enough to overcome a 2-10 start. Well, when you have the record that we have, it's hard not to look at it, Embiid said. But we have a lot of adversity so far, guys being out. I think the biggest thing is we have a lot of new guys you see on the floor. It's going to take a while for everyone to be on the same page. And this is why the NBA ratings are down because of goofy stuff like the Philadelphia 76ers are pulling right here. NBA playing every other game, not playing back to backs. How are you supposed to have chemistry? And now that Paul George is out, Tyrese Maxey is out. Oh, actually, Paul George came back. Tyrese Maxey has been out. They're 2-10 on the season. I don't know if they come back from that. At one point in time, we thought the Bucks were fledgling right, but they managed to pull a couple of games together, pull themselves close to getting over 500. But the 76ers, how can you do that when you have one player not playing back to back, another player hurt, another player injury prone? It just doesn't make any sense. And Paul George had a 13 points, 5 assists. He shot terribly from the field, 4 for 15. Caleb Martin had 3. Joel Embiid, like I said, had 20, but he went 5 for 15, 0 from 5. He got most of his points for the free throw line. Kyle Lowry is in the lineup, but he only had 4 points. He was useless. And Jared McClain was actually the high man of the night, leading scorer for the 76ers last night. 29 points, 10 for 17 from the field. 4 assists. I guess he's making a name for himself. He's been balling. They didn't get much production out of the bench. Kelly Oubre, that I think sometimes he usually starts. He had 5. The French Ben Wallace had 4. KJ Morton 3. Andre Drummond 2 points and 5 rebounds. It was just a terrible night for them. It was just a garbage night for them. They shot 32% from the 3-point, 40% from the field. As for the Orlando Magic, the winner, they fared a little bit better and a little bit more balance with their scoring. Franz Wagner had 31. Jalen Suggs had 19. Uh, Coming off the bench, Jonathan Isaac with 11. And Franz Wagner's brother had 14 himself. But they didn't shoot too well from the field, but they shot better from the field altogether. So that was pretty much it. All I gotta say is the 76ers, they look like a mess right now. I know some of their fans gonna probably go, you know what you talking about. The team looks like a mess. They look like a trash fire right now. And you know who needs smoke just as much as Doc Rivers needs smoke? Nick Nurse. He needs some smoke because what are you doing, my guy? What are you doing? You're supposed to be this great coach, right? Well, oh, it's been 5 seasons now since you won that championship in Toronto. Time's a ticking. People gonna start forgetting that you won that. People gonna start forgetting that and put some pressure on you. 'Cause you really haven't done anything since. You've been first round, first round, first round. I think ever since that championship, you've been first round exits. Or now you're making the playoffs altogether. And they in danger of not making the playoffs again this. I mean, he's not. Well, the 76ers are in danger of not making it to the playoffs this year. At 2-10. Yeah, they may be able to climb out of it, but there's a little bit more competitive. Now you got Detroit to worry about. Detroit's a little bit more competitive than I think they won last night. They're a little bit more competitive than they once was. Orlando obviously is a little bit more competitive. They were just in the playoffs. They pushed the Cleveland Cavaliers to 7 games last season. So 76ers about to get to stepping. Joel Embiid better rethink that not playing back to backs. Cause how are you supposed to get warmed up, getting playing mode if you playing every other game in a back to back? But anyways, team's a mess and a clown show. You know what? The whole NBA is a clown show. But why are you watching the games? Shut up. Do what I want.